Would you knowingly kill a messenger of God? Whenever I'm ignoring my intuition, my devout dad will always ask me that exact question. Would you knowingly kill a messenger of God? Then he'd say, well, that's what we do every single time we squash that small voice in the back of our minds and hearts, pleading for us to do something different and something more. Many of us are used to that pleading voice in the back of our minds that is desperate for us to make a change that is more in alignment with our purpose, with our freedom, with our joy. But we constantly find ourselves squashing that voice in favor for what is the most comfortable or causes the least amount of trouble for those around us. After a while, not only do we resent ourselves for who we've become and resent the people around us for contributing to who we are, but we also feel like we're drowning in life and are too disoriented to figure out how to come back to the surface. As much as we don't like to hear it because we've lived a certain way for so long, becoming a different version of ourselves, one that we can thrive in and that we actually love, is going to take some planning and a little bit of courage. My name is Aaliyah Zealous. I'm a self-published author, a self-care junkie. I'm dramatic as fuck. And here's how to create habits that align with the person that you want to be. One is create a love it and leave it list. I love creating these lists because I can clearly see what it is that I want to start doing more of, even if at the moment I feel like it's a bit unrealistic. And I can clearly see what it is that I want to stop doing and leave behind. You're going to want to create 2 columns. In your love it list, you're going to list all of the things that you want to start doing, that you love about yourself, the things that you want to have, what you want to build, and what you want to create more of for yourself. Some of the things that I have in my list, to give you a good example, are building sustainable energy, having a morning routine, prepping healthy meals that focus on mineral richness, high protein, freshness, reading more fiction books, weekly walks and hikes, and building new friendships. This section is going to set the base for where you want to build your habits from. That means that all of the habits that you want to achieve from this point forward are going to serve the sole purpose of fulfilling these goals. Then you're going to create a leave it list. Now, this was a fun and cathartic list to make because it helps pinpoint all of the bad habits and things that you don't want to take with you and that you want to release. It helps you be honest with yourself of what you don't want to carry with you in your life anymore and helps you pinpoint the bad habits that are no longer serving you. Here, you're going to write down the things that you want to leave behind and write down the things that you want to stop doing either to yourself or to other people. My leave it list looks something like stop helping other people process their own emotions and carrying their emotional baggage for them. Stop people pleasing for the sake of keeping the peace. Stop going to bed late and getting up late, debt, and stop prioritizing other people's needs and emotional well-being over my own. Now that we have our love it and leave it list and we can clearly see what it is that we want to be more of and what it is that we want less of, we're going to expound on that and solidify that by creating a list of emotional goals. Now you may be asking, Aaliyah, what is the difference between just writing a list of goals and a list of emotional goals? Well, a lot of people focus on their goals, which are usually achievements or material things that they want to have and achieve. But what really pushes people to want to have those achievements or have those material things is how they perceive those things will make them feel once they get them. So this time, instead of focusing on the object or the achievement, we're going to work backwards and focus on the feelings that we want to feel and the emotions that we want to have. Because the emotions behind the things that you do is where the meaningfulness and the purposefulness and the fulfillment of whatever you're doing is coming from. Be as open and as raw as you need to be on this list, and it can be very simple too. For me, my emotional goals look something like feeling more put together, clear, fulfilled, energized, adventurous, free, and focused. I like to put this list in conjunction with my love it list because it helps me to solidify the meaningfulness and the purpose behind all of these goals and achievements that I want to have. So out of my love it list, I'm able to identify, creating a morning routine helps me with my goal of feeling more put together every day. Going on weekly walks and hikes will help me feel more energized and adventurous. When you have your emotional goals down, this sets the foundation for bringing in what is actually the most meaningful and purposeful for you. So instead of going out every weekend because your acquaintances go out every weekend, or impulsively buying something new because everybody is talking about it and it's trending and other people look excited about having it and you want to feel excited for having it, instead of being so aimless, now you can compare these things to if they're actually fulfilling the emotional goals that you've laid out for yourself. Will this party actually fulfill my goal of feeling more connected to people, or is this just an illusion of meaningful socializing? Is this new pair of shoes actually going to add any value to my life, or is this just pseudo excitement? Number 3 is something that I've been doing recently, and we're going to list out our assets. An asset is something of value or something that can be used to produce value. This is still something new that I've been doing, but writing out my assets has really been helping me to identify what are the things that are actually adding value to my life and contributing to my life in a meaningful way, and what are the things that I have convinced myself that I needed in my life but aren't actually contributing anything of substance. With this list of assets, we're going to list out the things in our lives that either bring us money, education, or joy. You can add anything else of value that you can think of, but we're going to start with these 3. And I'm telling you, when I did this, it released so much pressure for having to try to keep up with certain things in my life that I thought were adding to my life. For my assets in my business, I would be ripping and running, thinking that I need to produce content for this platform and I need to produce content for that platform. But when I actually sat down and analyzed what platforms actually created an engaging community and assisted with building my business, it became much easier to just streamline my efforts into those platforms instead of trying to maintain the dying heartbeat of another platform. When it came to my education, I would have all of these different language apps and different news article apps, and I thought that I had to know this and know that. But when I actually sat down and thought about the things that I was interested in and the things that actually added value to my life, it was easy just to pick out one language app that I know really worked for me, the news app that I know that I can get the majority of my news from, and just to leave the rest of the apps for people who may find better use for them. And same with my entertainment. I had a myriad of subscriptions for different things and different apps and different games, and some were more mentally draining than they were relaxing. And when I sat and thought about the things that brought genuine comfort and entertainment and relaxation, it became much easier to delete most of the games and apps that I don't really play or use anymore and just stick to my comic book app, YouTube, and the 2 games that I play religiously when I just want to chill. When you write out your assets, it gives you the opportunity to see what is actually adding value to your life, whether that be monetary, educational, or happiness, and cut all of the other filler out and just focus on the things that bring you the most value. Number 4 is to plan out your day. Stick to it at least 5 days out of the week. You should have a schedule that is at the least an accurate depiction of what you want your normal day-to-day to look like. And this should be steps and activities that will help you incrementally work towards all of the goals that we've already set and written down. Of course, not all of your goals at the same time in one day, but if one of your goals on your love it list or your emotional goals list is to have more energy, then your day-to-day routine should include something that helps you incrementally build more energy throughout the day. If part of what's on your assets list is to work on your side business, then there should be time set aside for you to be able to do that. Planning out your day isn't meant for you to stick to this religiously, but it's supposed to help you have a plan in place to help you take the guesswork out of what you should be doing with your time on a random Monday. It takes away the decision fatigue of trying to figure out a healthy way to spend your time and just takes you right into building your best life. You want to make these your main and important things because when you become overstimulated and feel like you're getting nowhere, I want you to come back to these lists so you can streamline what actually matters and have a better chance of success. And if preparing for your success is something that you're interested in, check out this video on tips on how to better prepare for your success so when it comes, you can have longevity in it.